Hello and welcome to this edition of The Buzz, the show that we tape here at Abington High School in the Abington Cam Studios to talk about everything good that's happening in Green Wave Nation. Basically everything that's going on in the Abington High School athletic programs. There's so many good things going on with a lot of quality student athletes. And Abington High School has been very fortunate to be led by a lot of great students, both especially our juniors and seniors. And I'm very proud to have two of our female student athletes with us today. We have Ella Williamson and Mary Klein. Ella is a junior, right?
Yes.
Mary is a senior, your fourth year here at Abington High School. And as you can see, they're wearing their Green Wave basketball practice jerseys. But you guys don't play just basketball. We'll talk about basketball in a minute, but we just finished up a fall season. Both of you guys were involved in the Green Wave soccer program, right?
Yes.
How is it the change from soccer to basketball? You're outdoors, going to indoors. Easy switch for you, or is it something you really got to adjust?
It's an easy switch for me because I play basketball all year round and it's my main sport. But like soccer is really different because it's fun for me and it's outside and it's kind of a different dynamic than having people like in gyms and the practice schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely different dynamic. I've never played soccer before. This was my first year ever playing.
Cool.
The team was like a really good environment and I had like a lot of fun. Even just like sitting on the bench was super like fun. The team spirit was really high.
And it must be a great way just to keep in shape for basketball and your own, because you do a lot of running in both sports.
Yeah, and the conditioning's kind of different because in soccer like the field's way bigger, so it's good cross training.
That's great, and I know you guys did have a very successful and a fun soccer season under Coach Casey, who was a soccer player herself.
Yes.
What positions were you guys playing for soccer this year?
I mainly played striker and some mid at the end of the season.
Played forward.
Now you're going to be graduating, Mary, so
Yes.
going to play soccer again next year, Ella?
Yes.
Great. So then moving forward now, here we are entering our winter season, which is what we want to talk about during today's show. Basketball is now the thing, along with hockey and indoor track and all. But you guys, we took you out of practice. We're going to talk to you a little. You get back to practice. Tell us what you're thinking about this year's team.
I'm very excited. Obviously it's my senior year, so I'm like eager like to win like always. Our team has like so much potential and our captain dynamic is really strong and I think our chemistry is just really good this year.
And I should say you two are both captains, right?
Yes.
And so as a captain, the junior captain, what do you see in this team? You see a lot of potential?
Yeah, I see a lot of potential and it's like guard heavy so we can play fast. We're excited for that. It kind of switches up from past years a little bit and we get to try some new things, which I'm excited for. I think Mary is too, whole team. And also like our practices are fun. Like we're all meshing together. The grades are competitive because we have a bigger freshman class. So
that's good too, just to have that camaraderie and the teamwork off the court during practice, because it pays dividends in the games. So you guys are looking to kind of a fast-paced game, really kind of push the tempo?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, like we said, we're guard heavy, so our goals and practices are always just going 100%, like trying to get in shape as fast as we can, be as fast as we can. Our defense is like completely changing. We're looking to do like a lot of more trapping and just overall like more fast pace.
And I think people who haven't made the shift from outdoor sports to indoor sports don't know that there is a shift that you have to make. I mean, you can feel it in your legs. It's basketball's a lot of the short sprints and stops, and the real quick decisions you have to make. Not that soccer's that much slower, but basketball is definitely a team sport that you guys, I mean, I've been able to watch you for a few years already, so we're all looking forward to this year. Is there any team out there, whether it's in your league or outside your league, that you really get your eyes on that you can't wait for that game?
I'm excited for the Cohasset game. Yep. I think that's competitive. Last year we played it. It was kind of after a few of the people on our team had like COVID, so we weren't like as strong as we could be. And we like kind of started off a little rough, but we came back like really well. And I feel like this year that's going to be really competitive because they play like us. They're kind of guard heavy. So.
And also guard heavy team that I love, Middleborough. We played at their home court for summer league all year, so we got to know like a couple of the girls. They're super sweet and it's just like competitive, like friendly nature, but we're both like such strong and equal teams that it's always a really good game.
It's super sweet, but you'd love to really beat them.
Oh yeah, very much want to beat them.
You want the bragging rights against Middleborough and Cohasset and all the others. You got Norwell, you got Rockland, always really good games. And obviously the boys are playing similar. Usually it's you're away, boys are home, or boys are home, you're away. But we are working into the schedule this year a couple more of the double headers. Mary, why don't you tell us about what that's all about?
Okay, doubleheaders are like one of my favorite. This is why like I love basketball. Just I think the dynamic of the two teams like really are just fun to have at the same time. Like it gets the fan section to be so much like bigger and better. Like our themes like go through successfully for games, and it just makes us like more excited and competitive just to see them there in the stands and like want to play good so that they play good after.
Yeah, you really feed off the energy of the crowd. The parents that are there, and your classmates, your students that are in there, that student section, especially when they're down there in the baseline. I know you're both members also of the Student Athletic Advisory Council, right? The SAC.
Yes.
And you guys are putting a big effort, you and some of your classmates are putting a big effort into having, like you just mentioned, theme nights. Like next Friday night's game is going to be Hawaiian night or whatever it's going to be. So for those of you at home, stay tuned and really find out what the themes are going to be. We'll be publicizing it more because it's going to be a lot of fun. You don't have to be the sister of someone who plays or even the classmate. You just got to go to a game, get out of your house, come to a basketball game. All the schedules are on arbiterlive.com, and it's a great time. Games are usually when you guys are just playing home, the girls, it's usually JV at like 5:30 or so.
Yeah.
And then varsity about 7, I think it is, 4 or 7.
Around that.
So always a good take. And when we have the double headers, though, it's Girls Varsity and Boys Varsity. Sometimes the girls are first, boys are last. Sometimes we'll switch it up, and gonna be fun. But we need to have the gym loud and proud.
Oh yeah,
of course.
You feed off that, and I think the crowd feeds off you guys. They see your excitement. Got a couple of good coaches, and you got a lot of good players on your team. Tell me about some of your teammates that you really see are developing and you're eager to play with this year.
I feel like she's biased to talk about her sister, but I can because I love her sister Ava. Like we said, like the freshmen are very competitive, and it's like very different from what we've like had in the past years. It's just like kind of equal energy throughout the whole gym, and it's always like super competitive. And like I said, Ava, Bella, Savvy, super good. I love playing with them. They just like understand the game very well, and I can rely on them.
Yeah. And obviously our other captain, Rebecca, who's not here, love playing with her. I feel like all three of us, plus like Sarah Devney, we have like a good like 4-person, like we trap really well. We're all guards, so that like plays to our strengths. We're all fast and like aggressive, so yeah.
That'll be fun to watch, and it is a great mix. You have a great mix of the older juniors and seniors, like you just mentioned with Sarah and Rebecca and you guys who, you know how to set a pick and roll off a pick. And I keep hearing about this freshman class and even the 8th graders coming up that are really dynamic, both in boys and girls. And I've seen some of them play from last year. That it's going to be fun to watch them. As Mary, you just said, they can step out in that court and play with the best of them.
Yeah, they're really confident, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
That is cool. And then looking forward to spring. What do you guys do in the spring? Do you take it off, or do you play another sport, or what are you looking down the road?
I play lacrosse. I'm very excited for lacrosse too this year. Yep.
I used to do track, and I do AAU. Which is outside of school, but
basketball,
yeah.
So you're just a basketball nut.
Yeah, basketball from September to end of July.
So tell me, Ella, when you've got the ball, what do you like? The jump shot, or you like to drive to the hoop? What's your game?
I like shooting. I like setbacks. I feel like that's more my turf than driving. If someone's wicked tight to you, that's a counter, driving. But yeah.
How about you, Mary? What do you like in the game?
I like to drive to the hoop, like shots when I can, but mostly I'm like probably one of the bigger girls on our team this year, which seems weird, but probably going to be playing in the post a lot, so yeah.
So as you walk down the halls at Abbott High School, you get a lot of support from your classmates who maybe aren't on your team, or what's the relationship that the girls basketball team has with the boys basketball team? Is there a lot of, do you support each other? Are you challenging each other, trying to one-up each other? What's the atmosphere like?
I think we're competitive with each other, but also like very supportive. Like we came to the boys scrimmage, they came to ours. Like again, like you said, we feed off each other's energy, and we both want to perform well.
Yeah, I agree because doubleheaders make it better because we're both supportive of each other. And so then the guys can come watch us. We can stay and watch them flip-flopped if it's different times. Versus, like, I feel like we're one of their biggest supporters and they're one of ours. So when we play on the same night, it's like, oh, you can't go.
Right. And I think, and you guys know when you're sitting in the stands how much you yelling and screaming is getting those guys pumped up, and they can return the favor because you're out there on the court listening to the fans or the music, what's playing, and the parents that are out there, and everybody wants to win in your home court. You want to win in the away court, but it's always good when you've got the fans behind you. So it's great. You guys, I want to congratulate you again on both being named captains this year. I mean, it's a little extra responsibility, but I'm sure you guys can handle it. You've got a great team that we're really looking forward to watching these guys play for the rest of the start of the season, the 2022 into 2023. So December, you guys are going to start. Really, we get started very quickly. You're going to play all through December into January, hopefully long into February, and into the playoffs. So I want to thank Ella. And did you want to say something? No? Go ahead. I thought you were going to say something, Mary. I want to thank Ella and Mary for joining us today. These are two of our finest student athletes, and they're going to be leading Green Wave girls basketball. So get out there and watch these guys. Get to some of the games and let them hear it. They want to hear you from the stands. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch. So, ladies, thank you very much. We're going to take a quick break and going to bring two of our representatives from a boys basketball team to give us their thoughts and what they expect for their upcoming basketball season in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Chris Manova.
And I'm Mike O'Leary, and we're interns here at Abington Community Access and Media.
Though you don't have to be an intern to get involved.
You can always volunteer.
Here at Abington Camp, we have a state-of-the-art production studio where you can create all the types of podcasts, shows, PSAs, interviews, you name it. It's all up to you. So, what can you do to get involved?
To start off, you can monitor audio levels with our intriguing state-of-the-art audio board.
Or perhaps you'd rather be behind the camera shooting all the action.
Maybe you'd opt in to be in front of the camera and maybe be the star of your own show. Maybe you'd rather direct the production via the switcher. Ready one, take one. If you want to learn more, come on down to the studio. We always have room for more.
If you're interested, please don't hesitate to reach out and come by and see what you can do here at Abington Camp.
All right, we're back with today's edition of The Buzz, and now we're going to talk to two guys from the boys basketball team, two names that you're going to hear an awful lot this year, trust me. Two of the leaders in the team. It's going to be, we have Hunter Maxwell, a senior, and we have one of our juniors, Connor Pease. Welcome aboard, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
First of all, like the ladies who were just here before you, I want to congratulate you. I understand that you guys have also been selected by your coaches and your teammates as captains this year. That's quite an honor. That's quite an honor, and well-deserved. So, as a senior, Hunter, what are you seeing for this year? What's your scouting report for the Green Wave boys basketball team?
So, we lost the majority of our team last year, obviously, mainly seniors last year, but we're very young, but we're talented. I have, like, Tyler Stady, ridiculous shooter. I've never seen it.
A freshman.
Freshman, yeah. And my brother, he'll be good too, yeah.
And his name is?
Kingston Maxwell, yeah.
Dropping some names for these guys. Yeah, you do have a great mix once again. Who else are we going to be watching, Connor? Who's some of the studs on the team this year?
I think Nate Duggan's going to be very good. Like, you know, he's not the tallest in guards, but he does make it up in, like, speed and heart. Yeah. Like, every single play, I see him hustling every single time.
I think he's going to be... He's that type of guy that irritates the other guard because he's just on them like he's just great. He's a really intense guard, good defensive player, and can shoot the ball. Yeah. And then, I mean, don't take anything away from you guys. I mean, you're a pretty good shooter there, Mr. Maxwell. Also, I watched one of your scrimmages recently. And Connor, you got, you know, some of the softest, best hands for a tall guy we've seen in quite a long time. You guys like going to the hoop or making the play?
My game has been driving recently, to be honest, because Tyler Stady, kicking it out to him, he's just a knockdown shooter. We got Kingston can shoot too, Nate can shoot, our whole starting lineup can shoot, so I'm trying to bring something different to the table and driving the ball in.
That opens it up. If you got guys out in the perimeter who can shoot, the defense has to get out to them, which then hopefully means Connor's flashing underneath and can get that quick pass, right?
Yeah.
Get something off the glass. And you got other guys, a couple of big men also, Venuti. You got Joe Venuti and Darren Zenas in there. Watch them. I mean, you get some good guys. You can mix it on and off the court. It's not just 5 guys playing this year.
Yeah.
Right?
We got our whole bench is deep. Yeah.
Yeah, we got lots of depth.
What's up with this freshman class that's coming up here?
Man, I don't know. They got fed something different when they were younger. I don't know.
And one of them's your brother, as you mentioned, which is great that they were good enough to make varsity. And we have a very, very strong JV team. Yeah. Which, again, for those of you who are coming to Abington Greenway basketball, get early and watch the JV game, because you're going to see some really good basketball from the Abington High School Junior Varsity team also. But then you get up to the varsity level, you'll see some guys probably bouncing back and forth from JV to varsity. But you mentioned Nate Duggan out there. We also Izzy's out there as a senior. The guy who's known for his speed. Good to see that his ankle has healed from his injury during the football season. Who else we got? Zuzu. He's still got a wrist that is recovered. I think he's almost 100%.
Yeah, no, he's been good. He came out of nowhere. Yeah, I was not. He's very good for our team.
He's a soccer player, right?
Yeah,
he's a soccer player, and now look at him
run.
He's the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, he's got a motor.
I was talking to one of the referees during a soccer game, and one of the playoff soccer games, and he came over to me at half, and he's like, "Who is this guy?" He's like, I turn around and he's on the opposite side of the field. I turn around and he's right next to me. He's the nicest guy in the world. So, and I believe he was captain of the soccer team, one of the captains. So, Zuzu's been if you don't know Zuzu, go to the game. You'll know who Zuzu is by the end of the game, no problem. I got a couple of good sophomores with Kevin Lopes and a guy named Michael Reilly, who I kind of know pretty well. Again, young talent that seems to be pretty confident.
No, yeah. Riley took control of the game the other day. We had some players that haven't really not been on the varsity level yet, and he took control of it as the point guard, just moving the ball around the floor.
Tell me about some of the coaches you have this year. I mean, they're all coming back basically, but let's go through your coach. You get your head coach, Peter Serino, but I think what really makes this coaching staff great is not only your head coach, but you got some great assistant coaches that can really fine-tune each one of you as they see things. And so who do we got for assistants?
So Coach Marquardt, he's just, every time you miss a shot or something, he's just encouraging you to keep shooting. You got the next one. I feel like he talks to the individuals, and Coach Serino talks to everyone, but he really hammers it in.
That's a good way to explain it, because Marquardt was a shooter in high school. He knows what he's talking about. Who do you like to watch? Listen to?
I like Coach Ty. He's kind of like the big man coach, and he's been helping a lot with my game, and he's helping me get up and dunk it.
Really? I want to see some of that later.
Might see some in-game dunks.
Excellent. I don't know if you've seen any film of Chris Ty playing when he was at Abington High School, but he was on some really good basketball teams back then. So they speak from knowledge, which is great. And you guys really have a good cohesive unit. We were talking with the girls from the basketball team, from the girls basketball team. Cool relationship between boys basketball and girls basketball. You guys kind of feed off each other?
Yeah. Show up at each other's games, And
who is it that you want to beat the most this year?
Definitely Rockland. From football, I want to get back on them, beat them up pretty good.
I don't know what it is about the Abington Rockland basketball game. Is like a playoff atmosphere every single time we play them, which is great for both schools. We get a lot of respect for Rockland, and we have a lot of confidence in Abington, so people are already circling those dates. And as we talked earlier, we have a couple of double headers coming up where both the boys and girls teams are going to be home. Do you guys kind of enjoy that scenario?
I love double headers. I love after before we can see their game, cheer them on, get their energy up, because I know they'll do the same with us.
They do. It is fun to watch, because for those who don't know at home, you guys will basically rotate through the gym. You'll have the boys practice might be early in the afternoon and the girls comes in late, or vice versa. But then come game time, you don't see each other. Usually they're traveling, you're at home, or vice versa. So these double headers that the league has been putting together is letting, basically they're your classmates and they're friends, and you get to watch them and cheer them on, which is a great opportunity. How about the support you're getting from your parents and the boosters? You kind of really, I'm sure you do appreciate what they do.
Yeah, so my dad being, I like to say he pretty much taught me everything to being a leader or a captain, because I got a great role model from Tommy Fanara last year, obviously, but him being he was from Rockland, but captain for the Rockland football team back in the day, he knows a bit about being a captain, so it's great to have his motivation and support.
You like to see the parents up there just as much? Well, I'm sure you like the student body section. It's a little more active, but good to see always the parents up there and the adults. And something about having high school, there's a good group of adults that don't have any kids out there on the court that just come to every single game they can. You get a real good following. Do you guys really recognize the tradition that you're in, that being part of Green Wave Nation?
It's crazy, like the themes and all that. Like I was never expecting to be like, back when like I was younger and used to go to the games and just like see all the people playing and being like, I want to be that when I'm older, and now it's finally time. Yeah. It's like crazy to think
you're
about
in the
that.
spotlight now, and you're the captain, which has got to be cool. Now, Connor, you just finished up a pretty cool football season where you were the big tight end. How was the season for you personally and as a team?
Like for the team, like, you know, we didn't do that well, but we still had lots of fun throughout the season. Like we had some great captains, like taught me a bunch of stuff, and like, but for me personally, I loved it. Like I loved being a tight end. Yeah. For like finally getting open.
You did a great job. I mean, you had a couple, especially that second half of the season where they were, you know, reading your number, and I forget which game we were at, but we were listening to the opposing coaches saying, know where he is, know where he is. They were like, don't let this guy get away from you. And then, Hunter, you have lacrosse to look forward to come spring. What position do you play for lacrosse?
Like a offensive midi, defensive midi. Yeah.
Really? So that is a pretty fast-paced sport.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's a whole different type of conditioning.
Do you like basketball or lacrosse one more?
I like basketball more, but lacrosse is a fun, like, just team sport with my friends to play around with.
It's got to be fun. It's something we didn't have when I was at Evan High School, but now it's a cool sport to watch and all. Any plans for next year as a senior now, moving on?
Blank schedule right now.
Well, you can do that. You don't have to decide your life what to do when you're only, how old are you guys now, 18, 17?
I'm 17.
I'm 16.
16? Great. So your season's starting pretty quick. What do you think is going to be the key to the success of Aberdeen Green Wave boys this year? Or is there one or two things that you guys are really trying to stress, or your coaches are stressing with you?
Just like teamwork. We have all the parts. We just need to put it together because we're just a brand new team. Some people haven't even played a varsity sport yet.
Which is amazing.
I know.
And they made the varsity just because of their pure athletic prowess. Yeah. I mean, I think that's been the success the last few years. I mean, you had some outstanding players like Matty McGuire, you know, guys who were breaking records, Tommy Fanara, you mentioned Tommy, and go back a little more, Cam Kearney. But none of those guys were, you know, I think you could say were ball hogs. They were all team players, you know, and I think that's the thing that makes, especially in basketball, a team very successful. And when that sixth guy, seventh guy, eighth guy comes off the bench and has fresh legs and can all of a sudden get that offense or the defense. Sometimes you can need a little defensive spark. I think that's what makes you guys so good. So you guys must, as the senior captain, the junior captain, I'm sure you kind of push, especially the young guys, to learn that, to set the pick and move without the ball. You hear it all from the coaches. And you guys seem to be pretty good at that.
Yeah, we're like, everyone's very unselfish. Like we all give up the ball, give up an extra pass. And I love the extra pass for an open shot.
It is. It really keeps the defense from the other team on their feet. If they think every time you get it, you're going to shoot.
Oh, most definitely. Like we have so many offensive threats on our team that it's like each one of us can do something with the ball that it's scary. You can't just like send two to him because then you'll pass it off and the other guy can do just as much.
So you guys are both student athletes. So looking at your student part of it, a little shout out. What's your favorite class or your favorite teacher here at Abington High School? Or you can pick more than one if you'd like, if you don't want to like get in trouble from any particular teacher.
I like my computer classes with Mr. Foley. Yeah, I love him. He's a new teacher this year. So Mr. Jacomar last year got a new job, and then Mr. Foley took his place, and he's just been great. He comes to the games. He went to the soccer games. You know.
Great.
He's just.
It's a good skill to learn too. Anything with computers right now.
I know, yeah.
It'll bring you far. You got any part of your school day that you look forward to?
I look forward to my AP English class with Mrs. McHugh. I just love Miss McHugh. She's like so nice all the time. She's very understanding with our work. She knows, like, if we can't get anything, like something late done.
Yep.
And it's just nice.
Well, I want to wish you guys luck this season. I'm really looking forward to being there myself and seeing a lot of familiar faces that go to these games. And if you were to look out to the camera and talk to the other kids in Abington, whether they're students at Abington High School or middle school, or what is it you want to say that why should they go to a game?
Why should they go to games? So we'll be good, and you want to see us play.
Yeah.
You want to see us win.
Underdog story.
Underdog story. And Rockland's number one that you want to take on. Who else, though? What other teams are we really looking to take on? Anyone in particular? Is it really just Rockland? I mean, they're that much higher above.
They're on top of the order right now.
I mean, we got something to prove because every team's pretty much looking at us as an easy win. So just every team, we just want to bring it to them.
That will be fun to watch because you do have a very, very competitive league. Teams like Cohasset are always well coached, always aggressive. Norwell, and I'm assuming you guys like the home games. Yeah. A little bit better environment for you, but you're not afraid to go take them on back down in their place. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So I want to again thank you for coming on The Buzz. Want to wish you guys luck. And for those of you at home, again, I'm going to remind you and ask you to get out there and go to the games. Remember, Green Wave Hockey is also starting up. While we're playing basketball in the gym, we've got hockey over at the Rockland Rink off of Summer Street. Real good take. When these guys don't have a game, a basketball game, and there's a Abington hockey game going on, these guys are in the stands rooting on Abington hockey, and I hope to see you guys there. So my name is Shawn Reilly. I want to thank the guys here at Abington Cam who help us put this all together. Thank our guests that we had today, Ella and Mary, and of course Hunter and Connor. We'll have more guests coming throughout the remainder of the winter season. We'll have some more updates as we're going on, but keep yourself updated by going to arbiterlive.com for the schedules, or you can follow our athletic director Peter Serino on Twitter at Abington AD, or talk to any member of the Boosters or any member of any of these Abington Green Wave sports teams. Please be there, support them when you can, be there in the stands, bring a friend. You'll have a great time. Want to thank you and wish everyone in Green Wave Nation a very Merry Christmas.